Welcome to Bialik College, one of Australia's highest achieving schools. It is a privilege to be introducing Bialik to you. My name is Jeremy Stolinna and I am the principal of Bialik College. Bialik is what a school should be: nurturing, outstanding, high achieving, academic, supportive, and one that develops positive Jewish identity and community activism whilst offering a first-class learning environment. Today, our online session involves a talk with me, showing you some of the key features of our beautiful Bialik family. We'll hear from some students, and we'll end with a question and answer with our heads of school, early learning, primary and secondary. And we will take some questions from you live during that time. The range of families attending today are from creche through to senior school. So this is a great opportunity to see the breadth of the Bialik experience. Bialik is above all a school which, in a positive, nurturing, caring environment, extends all of our young people to achieve their full potential. From the Reggio Emilia-inspired early learning and primary schools, through to the vibrant middle school and high achieving and nurturing senior school, Bialik is a family. We are a small school. We have no intention or desire to be even half the capacity of Melbourne's largest Jewish school. We are a school where every child is known, valued and nurtured. A family whose members, you, our parents, our teachers, our children, our community members, support and challenge each other to be the best that we can be in an environment which imbues Menschlichkeit and care.
What I love about being a teacher is coming to work every day and being in an environment which is about learning and thinking and growing. In the Early Learning Centre, they ask the biggest questions with the sort of greatest amount of scope for learning. The other day, a child asked the question in class, if we know the world is round, how come it looks flat? At the end of the day, the answer won't be important as much as the sort of culture of thinking that's been developed in our class community by answering these questions. When the children enter the doors of our building here, they're instantly immersed within a community that is warm and encouraging, and they're greatest advocates for them to grow and be the best that they can be.
Most of us watching and presenting are parents. I am too, and my children attend Bialik. So what do we as parents, what do I as principal expect the outcomes to be for our children? The community here is a warm and welcoming community. It's as normal as anyone here on this Zoom. I found some things surprising about the normality of our school when I first came here. I'd like to share them with you. Our catchment is broad. Whilst our main catchment comes from Caulfield, South Caulfield, Elstonwick, our other key catchments are local: Armidale, Malvern, Glen Iris and Hawthorne, as well as a key area in Bentley, East Bentley, Ormond and Carnegie. We also have families from Carlton, Fitzroy, Albert Park, South Bank, St Kilda. It is very broad. Bialik runs buses from these areas as well, and they take our children right to our school entrance. The school's also very well served by public transport. The 624, that dotted line on the map from Oakley through Carnegie and Caulfield, runs to the school, and we're a 5-minute walk from Taronga train station. The breadth of our catchment is also reflected in our socioeconomic range. When you apply to any school, you provide details such as your postcode, level of education, type of job you do. This is calculated by the government into an ICSIAS score. You can find the information on the My School website. The higher the school score, the more affluent the catchment. Now, a few years ago, Bialik would have been way to the right of the graph, but with our very diverse catchment, you can see that our community's socioeconomic diversity is greater than many local government schools, as well as Jewish and non-Jewish private ones too. We love this. We think it's fantastic for our children to be learning and thriving with a broad range of families. So with our children, what do we hope for them? Well, students who are high achieving, aspirational mensches. Yes, they need to get great results, that's important, it maximizes their life chances. But if they don't aspire to be better friends, writers, mensches, helpers and supporters, then those results are meaningless. What's special about Bialik is that results go hand in hand with Menschlichkeit. Rabbi Hillel said, "If I'm only for myself, what am I?" And he was right. Students, I said, you will all have the opportunity to go on to great universities. Some of you will be doctors or barristers. Others will be teachers or politicians. Some of you will excel in music, others in sport. Some of you will write great books of literature and learning. Others will program the computers of the future. Some of you will change the world, and others will change your families and communities. But I say to you also, the Bialik graduates who are just as important, just as valued, and just as essential are those who are not mentioned in the newspapers or on the news. They go about their lives as decent human beings, as mentioned, who see sadness and want to bring happiness, who do the right thing, not just the popular thing. Students, there are wonderful opportunities for you here, and you are in a wonderful school. Make the most of it by learning from Chaim Nachman Bialik. Bialik the game changer. Bialik who helped establish a new language. Bialik who could have remained a wonder of the grown-up world of literature, but chose to also write 70 works for children. Be the best that you can be in the classroom, the sports field, the examination hall, and most importantly in the eyes of others. The school motto is Dirchuna Oz, step forth with courage. Being a mensch is often the harder path, the less instantly gratuitous path, the less popular path, but being a mensch is the courageous path, and that is what this school is all about. We are a community, and as we go through the school, this is very important to our philosophy, we see the brain as a muscle, not as a bucket. Our brain is something that we exercise, not just something that we fill. Gone are the days when we said that intelligence, IQ and so on was fixed. Intelligence can be developed, and more than that, there are many types of intelligences. Literacy, numeracy, very important. The foundation of success is built on these. But we must also nurture musical intelligence, emotional intelligence, spatial, physical, social intelligence. Schools, this school in particular, nurture and develop both the core intelligences that are needed for success, but also the individual intelligences and nuances for each child. Bialik has topped the state for 2 of the last 3 years, has been top 5 for 10 of the last 10, a level of consistency that is unrivaled in Victoria. It also creates predictability that creates clear daylight between Bialik and other schools. How do we do this whilst ensuring that our children are happy, broad-minded and thriving? Given that every year we have children who excel academically, children who undertake vocational courses, students who receive an unscored VCE, our community is inspired to be their best in whatever path they choose to take. Our Creation Early Learning Centres are inspired by Reggio Emilia, a town in Italy that revisioned its approach to education after the war. We see children as powerful thinkers, speaking a multitude of languages. You can see how this fits with our philosophy of multiple intelligences. We need to inspire our children to extend themselves in languages where they have strength and interest, and extend themselves also in areas where they do not yet. We're inspired by a culture of thinking. The Graduate School of Education at the University of Harvard has a number of strands, and one of these strands began as a research project here at Bialik College called the Culture of Thinking. Our approach to learning is now in hundreds of schools worldwide, where children understand the cultural forces in their learning, and through routines and protocols, all the craft of teaching and learning, they're extended to think creatively and critically in all that they do. Our teachers love working here, and it really shows. Let's hear from Rob, one of our primary teachers.
What I love about teaching is that every day can be different. Bialik itself is like a living organism. You see the school slowly wake up in the morning. Slowly the children trickle in, and then at lunch, seeing so many people together, see the children smiling. In a way, it's a bit like a home. They want to start being adults. They're curious about the world. They ask lots of questions. They want to find out. They want to be independent at the same time. And I enjoy guiding them along that process.
Bialik is a very Jewish school. Not only do our students identify positively with Israel, its culture, its language, its complex history and politics, we also recognise that young people want to make informed Jewish choices about their lives. So they grapple with these ideas in class, in our informal Jewish Life Centre, and in the myriads of ways that we include Judaism as part of their daily activities. As they progress through the school, they learn more and more that the Jewish community is not monolithic. There isn't one way, there are many ways, all to be respected. The children, as they become young adults, make informed choices about their lives, because if they're not prepared for difference, then when they go out into the world, they can panic or run away, abandon or reject. And that's not how we as Jews or we as a community see things. Bialik is a cross-communal, pluralistic Jewish school. Most schools around the world default to a type or denomination of Judaism, maybe Orthodox, progressive, conservative. At Bialik, we say that Judaism describes different paths to different people. For some, it may be a secular path, others an Orthodox path, some a Reform path, a Masorti, conservative path. When we pray, our children learn the prayers of each denomination. At our B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies, for example, in a denominational school, the children might be gifted a Siddur, a prayer book of that denomination. But at Bialik, our parents choose the type of Siddur they would like, and we then validate the choices made by our families rather than expecting them to fall into line with us. Our students identify positively with Israel, its culture, its language, and its complex history and politics. All of Year 10 go to Israel, and what is valued in Israel is valued in our community. All of our middle school engage in volunteering. All of our Year 5 join the leadership program. All Year 12 students have the opportunity to be in the Mazkirut, the student leadership team. By ideology, we have no elections in this school, no appointments on the nod of the principal either. Elections are popularity or eloquence tests in schools, and we know that great leaders are born from more than this. This creativity finds its way into so many parts of our curriculum. Most schools do a city week, a middle school experience of life in the city, but at Bialik we took it to the next level with Entrepreneurship Week, which saw the Bialik experience featured in the Australian newspaper and the Business Conversation. Entrepreneurship Week is an Australian first. Rather than a flash-in-the-pan speak or experience, this is a week-long deep dive into the entrepreneurship and tech world, connecting with curricular experiences before and after. We engage with world-class companies from Uber Eats to venture capitalists, Rampersand, and retail extraordinaire Catch of the Day. Every student pitches at the end of the process in a Shark Tank style event. We are preparing our children for a workforce and for jobs that don't yet exist. The 21st century skill set is different to the siloed careers of yesteryear, so entrepreneurship is our perfect vehicle for that. In primary school each year, there is a different theme, yet science runs all the way through. Our delivery vehicle for much of this is our award-winning Kitchen Garden program. Our Edgar program, Challenge program in years 8 and 9, sees children learning everything from stockbroking to tiling, from aquatics to cafe management, from cooking for the needy to learning to be a barista. In fact, all of our Year 9s graduate with both a barista certificate and a food handling certificate, enabling them to get jobs and learn in real time the value of work and money. Every year from Year 2 goes on a camp. From Central Australia to Mount Buller, Northern Victoria, Wilson's Prom, Canberra and Israel, wonderful opportunities to broaden horizons. Sport is a major focus of the extracurricular program at Bialik. All students are expected to participate at the best of their ability and at a level which best matches their potential. Our sporting opportunities include on-campus swimming, gymnastics, tennis, football, hockey, basketball, netball, cricket facilities, all on campus. And although our leadership opportunities are communitarian, our sports are competitive. We compete in Jewish and non-Jewish leagues. In primary, we compete with the local primary schools. And in secondary, we are in the EISM, the Eastern Independent Schools, which divides into divisions. And we're a Division 1 school for swimming, athletics, netball, volleyball, basketball, soccer and other sports in particular year levels. The arts are strong through visual and graphic arts as well as the digital media. These options run throughout the school to Year 12. At Bialik we take music very seriously. We even teach music from creche and kinder with a qualified music teacher for all children from 3 months old. All Bialik primary students learn an instrument, participate in the band and orchestral program. There are over a dozen musical groups for them to join, and from inclusive soirees to competitive competitions, musicals and plays, the performing arts at Bialik rocks. We're hugely excited about the development of robotics technology and engineering in the school. 85% of our students at VCE do a Maths 3-4 VCE. Our makerspace is visited by countless other schools as children thrive in an environment of 3D printing, programming, robotics, and we even have a new deconstruction zone involving old laptops and servers, screwdrivers and a hammer. Now some of that is being modified given our current global health crisis. The school lockdowns have not been an opportunity to retreat here at Bialik. Instead, they're an opportunity to follow our motto, Dir Chuna Oz, step forth with courage. Digital Bialik has been an exemplar for other schools to follow, an online, real-time, full curriculum for all children from prep to year 12. We don't do shortcuts seen in other schools. We don't just set work and check in a few hours later. At Bialik, every lesson, every hour has been followed by every child and every teacher from prep through to year 12. After all, children's learning must continue during this time. And on a practical side, our parents need the space and flexibility to get on with their own work. Instrumental lessons, orchestral lessons, clubs, athletics, student services, all these continue online when we are not at school. We're even running clubs through the Strava app. Our psychologists have led the field with wellbeing chats, parent Q&As and counselling sessions for our community. And just as we reach out on an academic level to best practice in Australia, the United States and Europe, so we do on a wellbeing level. Justin Coulson, Happy Families, Elephant Head, Moshe Lang, they all add value extras to our provision. We've known during this digital period that we need to feed our brains, souls and stomachs. So when school is closed, Shuk Babayit, our Shuk in the home ramps up, catering for families and bringing them the warmth, familiarity and quality of the Bialik food experience to every family. But you don't need to just hear it from me. Let's hear from one of our students about their digital Bialik experience.
The teachers were really available and understanding and provided really good resources to aid us in the transition. Teachers were really communicative, so we always felt really on top of everything, what was going on, even though we couldn't be in the school space.
I like kitchen class the best because it's just really fun to cook everything, and I love that my friends and I are able to see each other throughout the day and that my teachers are able to help me.
I love Bialik because there are so many interesting things to learn about.
I love Bialik because I love lunch all day.
I love Bialik because I love my Hebrew lessons and learning about all the Chagim.
I love Bialik because they do maths. I love Bialik because of the Dogs for Life program.
I love Bialik because the kids are easy to make friends with.
I love Bialik because of the fun activities at sport.
I love Bialik because I get to go to the makerspace at lunchtime with my friends. We all have a bunch of fun there.
I love Bialik because it's an environment where we can be with our friends.
I love Bialik because I get to explore different subjects.
Everyone knows exactly what they need to do and how it operates. They know that there are learning goals, and the senior school students are so motivated to achieve their personal best that they wouldn't let the fact that they are learning at home as opposed to on campus impact them or hold them back in any way. So whatever the year might throw at us, I'm confident that we can handle it and we'd adjust, and everyone would be better for it. The learning that the students have gained from the challenges of this year is so invaluable. It will hold them in good stead as they move on into tertiary institutions or the workplace, knowing that they can now manage a variety of mediums of teaching, learning and working.
Now, as parents, we can be wowed by beautiful buildings and great sculptures, and we have those. But the real superb facility, the essence of this place, is the relationships between students and between students and staff. Wonderful, nurturing relationships. Colleagues here talk of the Bialik family, and they're right. It is a family. I encourage students to spend a day here at Bialik. We don't have a single day where we put on a show for prospective students. We want you to see the school as it is. Pick a day, any day except the last day of term, and come and spend a day here. Let's hear from one more student about their experience here at Bialik.
Even though sometimes people are very far away, it feels like you're actually together.
So we'll now move over to our live Q&A for our prospective parents to ask questions of and hear from our heads of school.